this video, I'm talking about 7 most common 401k mistakes and what to do instead. Today's vlog is being brought to you by 401k Maneuver. 401k Maneuver provides online professional account management with the goal of supercharging your 401k account performance. So stop leaving money on the table each and every year in the form of lost returns. Let us help you. If you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and the links to everything that I mentioned in this video you can find in the description box below. So let's jump right in. There are common 401k mistakes we see investors making over and over again, from failing to rebalance to not keeping up with legislation. The 401k is one of the biggest assets people have in retirement, and it's not enough to think you'll be ready to retire simply because you regularly fund your 401k. Far from it. So keep watching for the 7 most common 401k mistakes and what to do instead. Let's start by talking about underestimating the real cost of retirement. There's a big discrepancy between what people think they need in retirement and what they actually need. The wider your gap, the more likely you are to struggle in retirement. When planning on how much you need in retirement, there are numerous factors to consider. And when you plan to retire, your lifestyle expectations in retirement and your health, you must also consider the rising costs of medical care, transportation, housing, food, and long-term care. And don't forget inflation. We recommend you check out this video for a breakdown on the cost of retirement in 2023. And based on that info, revisit your retirement plan and make adjustments accordingly. Next, let's talk about having a set it and forget it strategy to 401k savings. A set it and forget it strategy approach to 401k savings is not in your best interest. A whole lot can happen in the markets, legislation, and tax policy between the time you set up your 401k and the time that you retire. Just like taking a road trip from Texas to Florida, if there's a roadblock preventing you from reaching your destination or one that could significantly slow you down, you need to make changes to your route in order to reach your destination. So the key to avoiding these common 401k mistakes is to get engaged with your 401k plan and your retirement savings overall. So keep reading blogs just like this, attend seminars and online trainings, and read books on retirement. The more you educate yourself, the more confident you should feel about your retirement future. Also, open and read your statements and make sure you understand what you're looking at. Doing so will help you determine whether or not you're on the right track to meet your financial goals. So check out our 2-part series on how to read and understand your 401k statement in the description box below. You'll find a link that you can watch the video. Number 3, ignoring new legislation that impacts retirement savings. Failing to keep up with new legislation that impacts your 401k savings may be more harmful to your retirement than you think. That's why you need to stay on top of it. Here's a recent example of just how important this is. The Secure Act 2.0 was signed into law December 29th of 2022, and it introduces major changes to retirement systems and how you will save for retirement. So let's say you're 60 and you're planning on maxing out your contributions every year until retirement based on the over 50 catch-up contribution limit. The Secure Act 2.0 increased the catch-up contribution limit for employees ages 60 to 63 who want to contribute more. Starting in 2024, you can contribute $10,000 or 150% of the standard catch-up amount. And these amounts will be adjusted annually based on the cost of living starting in 2026. Also, under the new law and starting in 2024, catch-up contributions to 401k plans must be designated Roth contributions if the employee's compensation from that employer was more than $145,000. And if you weren't aware of this new legislation, you would not be planning properly to max out your contributions. So check out the description box below to read a complimentary guide called The Secure Act 2.0 and how it affects your retirement savings. Let's move on to number 4, which is relying only on target date funds. Now, while target date funds have become extremely popular with 401k participants in the past few years, it's essential that you diversify your account and not rely solely on these financial vehicles. Target date funds are based on the date of retirement, and they fail to take into consideration that not all investors are created equally. If you're younger and plan to retire in 2060, you're told to select a 2060 fund. And if you're wanting to retire in 2040, you'd select a 2040 target date fund. What this means is that investors are grouped solely based on their expectation of their retirement date. Not location, age, profession, salary, risk tolerance, goals, and objectives are not taken into consideration. Because everyone has different goals and objectives for the future, there is no one-size-fits-all way to invest in your 401k plan. In addition, target date funds do not appropriately manage downside risk. They may often underperform in good markets and do a poor job of managing downside risk in tough markets. And if you are currently in a target date fund, we suggest moving away from this option and better utilizing all the options available in your workplace retirement plan. Check out the description box below for another complimentary read, 3 Ways Target Date Funds May Hurt 401k Investors. Let's move on to the 5th mistake you want to avoid, which is not rebalancing your 401k. If you have a set it and forget it approach to your 401k, chances are you're not rebalancing. And this common 401k mistake can cost you more than you might realize because you're missing out on earning more and keeping more of your hard-earned retirement savings. Rebalancing your 401k is the process of realigning weightings of the assets or investments in your portfolio. And this means you periodically buy or sell assets in your portfolio in order to maintain the initial desired level of asset allocation. So let's say you set up and invested money in your 401k in 2012, and your original asset allocation target was to have 60% in stocks and 40% in bonds. And let's say the stocks performed well during this time period. If you never rebalanced your account and stocks performed far better than bonds, you'd have much more money invested in stocks. This may increase your asset allocation to 80% of your portfolio in stocks and only 20% in bonds. Now, while your account may have posted high returns during this period, you are now at higher risk than you originally selected. And should the market drop and stocks take a dive, your retirement savings could potentially suffer major losses. And you might lose some or a lot of your hard-earned retirement savings. Check out the description box below for another complimentary read, What Every Investor Needs to Know About Rebalancing a 401k. We're almost to the end. Let's check out the 6th mistake that you want to avoid, which is not saving enough. This one is obvious, but not enough 401k investors do it, which is why it's on our list of the most common 401k mistakes. Ideally, you want to max out your contributions, and this year you can contribute $22,500 for a 401k, and if you're 50 and over, you can put in an additional $7,500 for a total of $30,000. Maxing out the yearly limit may not be realistic for many 401k investors. So see if you can increase your contributions by 2%, 3%, 5%, or more. If you're thinking 2% isn't going to move the needle very much, just remember, every little bit counts. Even if you're only able to contribute a small amount each month, it's better than nothing. The key is to make a plan and be consistent, because time plus consistency builds wealth. Let's move on to the last mistake that you want to avoid, which is not getting professional help. In addition to managing your investments and quarterly rebalancing your 401k, getting help with your 401k may also help you stay on course to meet your retirement goals. However, there are a lot of 401k investors who either don't have the time or don't care to manage their 401k in order to maximize returns, and we get it. And that's why we do what we do. When you have professionals personally managing your 401k like we do at 401k Maneuver, the focus is on the outcome, not a cookie-cutter approach to investing based on your retirement date. We believe there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach to saving for retirement. And we're not robo-advisors, we're real people making real decisions on your behalf. And as a fiduciary, we're obligated to act in your best interest with the goal to improve your account performance so you have more money during retirement. And our whole goal is to increase your account performance over time, manage downside risk to minimize losses, and reduce fees that harm your account performance. You don't even need to move your 401k. Keep it right where it is, and we'll do the rest. Find out how we can help you grow and protect your 401k account. Book a complimentary 15-minute 401k strategy session with one of our advisors today.